Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Giants in 2025, you know it's been quite a roller coaster. The season started with high hopes, especially after a promising offseason that saw some key additions, but things quickly took a turn. And right now, the biggest story isn't just about the results on the field, it's about the quarterback position and what it means for the team's future. Particularly, what's going on with Russell Wilson, a player who, despite his age and recent struggles, still commands attention and respect around the league. You see, Wilson, who has a decorated career spanning a decade, found himself in a very peculiar situation with the Giants. After a rough start, the team made the bold move of benching him for rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, and the reactions to that have been all over the place. But what's truly fascinating is Wilson's response to all of this, and what it says about his mindset and his plans moving forward. In a recent press conference, Wilson was asked directly about the possibility of requesting a trade or even a release from the Giants. And folks, his answer was crystal clear. He said, "I'm focused on helping this team win. I'm focused on helping Jackson. I'm focused on me getting ready to be the best version of me today on a Wednesday. I want to be here. I love this organization. I love the process of it all. I'm not giving up on us in this season." You can tell he's genuinely committed. Despite the benching, despite the setbacks, Wilson's words reflect a veteran's resilience, a guy who still believes in his ability and in the team's potential. But let's be honest, there's a lot to unpack here. First, Wilson doesn't want to be traded. That's a major statement. After a career that saw him as one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league, with multiple Pro Bowls and a reputation as a clutch performer, you'd think he'd be eager to move if the situation was dire. But no, he's saying loud and clear that he's not giving up. Still, the question on everyone's mind is, what is his value on the market right now? After just 3 games as the Giants' starting quarterback, Wilson's stock has taken a hit. His tenure with the Denver Broncos and later with the Pittsburgh Steelers had already cast some doubt, and now, with his brief stint in New York, that doubt has only intensified. But here's the interesting part. Wilson, at 36, isn't ready to throw in the towel. Despite the recent struggles, he's still confident in his abilities. He's not just talking, he's showing through his actions and words that he believes he can still make a difference. And he's not shy about referencing that game against Dallas in Week 2, where he threw for 450 yards and showcased his vertical passing skills. That was a statement game, a reminder of what he still can do when everything clicks. It was a calculated move, a way to remind everyone that Wilson still has that elite arm talent, that ability to take over a game. But as many fans and analysts have pointed out, one great game doesn't erase the issues that have been plaguing the Giants' offense this season. And that's where things get complicated. Because you see, Wilson's recent performances, especially in clutch moments, have raised eyebrows. There was that game against the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 3, where in the red zone, Wilson refused to take chances, opting instead for safe throws or throwaways. That's a sign of a quarterback who might be losing confidence or perhaps just weighing the risks versus rewards a bit too much. And the result? The Giants came away empty-handed, unable to capitalize on their scoring opportunities. Dan Duggan from The Athletic pointed out that Wilson's decision to throw the ball away in critical moments, and the overall lack of inspired play designs by head coach Brian Daboll and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, have all contributed to this offensive stall. You see, the scheme has been a topic of debate all season. Many fans and analysts believe that the play calling hasn't been creative enough, not putting Wilson or the offense in positions to succeed. It's a tough spot for a quarterback who's used to being the alpha on the field, used to dictating terms with his arm and experience. Now, he's in a situation where he's sitting behind a rookie Jackson Dart, who is still learning the ropes in the NFL. Dart, just 22 years old, is entering a season where he's expected to step into a bigger role sooner rather than later, especially if the offense continues to struggle. And Wilson, despite his confidence, knows that his path back to the starting lineup isn't guaranteed. But here's what's compelling Wilson's attitude. He's saying, "I'm not done," and he's backing it up with his actions and words. When asked about his confidence, he responded with conviction, "I've got so much belief in myself and I know what I'm capable of. I believe I was able to show it, especially on the road in Dallas. I know I can help this football team if that comes up." That's a veteran speaking, someone who's been in the league long enough to know his worth, someone who still sees himself as an essential part of this team's puzzle. And honestly, that's the core of the debate right now. Can Wilson rediscover his form? Can he regain the confidence of his teammates and coaching staff? Or has his time as a guaranteed starter in New York come to an end? It's a question that's not just about Wilson, but also about the direction of the Giants franchise. Because, let's face it, their season hinges on many factors: improving the offensive line, finding a rhythm on offense, and maybe most critically, figuring out who their quarterback of the future is. Wilson might still see himself as that guy, but the team's management and coaching staff have to consider what's best for the long term. Speaking of the offense, it's worth mentioning that the Giants' attack has struggled to find consistency. The offensive line has had its moments of vulnerability, which has affected Wilson's ability to operate freely. And while Wilson's arm talent remains impressive, his ability to stretch the field and make big plays, his decision-making under pressure has been under scrutiny. The red zone issues, the turnovers, and the play calling have all contributed to a sense that perhaps the Giants need a fresh approach, or at least some better scheme design to unlock their potential. Now, looking ahead, the big question is what happens if Jackson Dart continues to grow and shows that he can handle the starting role. The Giants drafted Dart in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, clearly signaling their belief in his potential. But development isn't always linear. The transition from college to the pros is tough, and rookie quarterbacks often make mistakes. But the Giants might be banking on Dart's athleticism and multifaceted skill, set to energize their offense. If he struggles, Wilson is still there, waiting, ready to step back in and show what he can do. It's a delicate balancing act, trying to develop the rookie while managing the veteran's expectations and confidence. From Wilson's perspective, he's not just going to fade away quietly. He's expressed his belief that he can still help this team, that he's still capable of making winning plays. His mindset is clear, he's not giving up, and he's not planning to leave without a fight. But the reality is, NFL teams are always looking at the big picture. They consider long-term planning, cap implications, and the development of their young talent. Wilson's age, recent performances, and the team's overall direction will influence what happens next. And let's not forget, the Giants are in a division that's incredibly competitive. The NFC East, historically, has been a battleground, and this season looks no different. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders are all formidable opponents, each with playoff aspirations. The Giants, trying to climb back into relevance, need stability at quarterback and consistency on offense. Wilson's future with the team remains uncertain, but his current attitude and performance points to a player who's still in the fight. Whether he can regain his form and help lead the Giants deep into the playoffs is yet to be seen, but one thing is for sure, his presence adds a layer of intrigue and drama to the division. Throughout this season, the Giants have been dealing with injuries, some inconsistent play, and a coaching staff that's trying to find the right rhythm. The offensive scheme has been under fire, especially with the play calling in critical moments. But amidst all that, Wilson's story is a compelling subplot, one that could define the team's future. Will he be the veteran leader who helps turn things around? Or will the Giants start to look elsewhere if Dart shows promise? These are questions that fans are asking every week, and the answers will come in the weeks ahead. So, what does all this mean for the fans? It's about hope, resilience, and believing in the process. The Giants have a talented young quarterback in Dart, but they also have a seasoned veteran who still believes he has a lot to offer. Wilson's mindset, his confidence in his abilities, and his commitment to the team are vital ingredients for a potential turnaround. And for fans, it's about supporting your team through thick and thin, trusting that the coaching staff is making the right decisions, and staying hopeful that this season isn't over yet. Because in the NFL, anything can happen. One game, one play, one moment can change everything. Now, I want to emphasize that the NFC East, remains one of the most unpredictable divisions in football. The Eagles are still the team to beat, but the Cowboys and Commanders are lurking, ready to pounce. The Giants, despite their struggles, have the talent and the fight to turn things around. Wilson's story is just one chapter in that ongoing drama, and it's a reminder that football is a game of resilience, grit, and never giving up. The season is still young, and there's plenty of time for surprises. Whether Wilson stays as the starter, or Dart takes over full-time, or maybe the Giants explore other options, what's certain is that this team is still fighting, still believing, and still aiming for that elusive Super Bowl trophy. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the New York Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news.